Whether you watch my videos or you don't watch my videos, you may or may not know that Breath of the Wild is a game that I absolutely adore. I have mentioned it in a few videos, but not that many. Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite, if not my favorite game of all time. There's so much to do in this amazing open world game with a bit of Nintendo charm that everyone loves. And now that I think about it, not really think about it, I haven't made a single video talking about Breath of the Wild, like specifically the game. So I decided to rank all bosses from worst to best, starting now. Okay, I can't just cut to the video like that. We can't just stop it like that. I need to make some rules clear. I'm going to be including Lionels and Guardians, even though many people may not count them as bosses. Maybe they would. They're counted on this list. It's the ultimate ranking all bosses from worst to best list. So I'm just going to be naming all the bosses right now that are going to be on this list. Calamity Ganon, Dark Beast Ganon, the Lionel, the Guardian, the Maduga, the Henoch, the Stone Talus, all 4 Blights, Master Koga, Monk Mask Koshia, and yeah, that's about it. And so those are all the bosses. Unscripted video, a lot of my videos are unscripted, but I try to keep them the best with grammar and stuff as possible. So don't think of it too much, just like a random kid blabbering. I do still keep a mental script, I guess, but you can kind of tell, like, with these kind of words. But anyway, yeah. So, with all that out of the way, I'm actually going to be ranking all 13 bosses from worst to best in Breath of the Wild. Any footage that's shown other than this footage from Nintendo themselves, any footage shown is going to be in the description. The video is going to be in the description, so if you want to see any of the videos, feel free to do so, and feel free to subscribe to the people who made those videos. This is all my opinion. This is based on how much fun they are. I want to make that clear. Not on how hard they are, how fun they are. So now we can actually go to the ranking. Let us go. I know what's in your mind, but the Penguin Boy, why isn't Dark Beast Ganon at the last place? Why isn't he number 13? I can give you many reasons on why he isn't, and I'm gonna give you many reasons later on in this video. But I'm gonna give you many reasons on why the Maduga is number 13 and is my least favorite boss. So like I said earlier, there's no boss in this game that I hated or disliked. But I have quite a few reasons on why Maduga wasn't my favorite, and it's easily my least favorite. First of all, found his techniques to be really repetitive. That can be said about a lot of bosses, but there was nothing satisfying about this boss. I guess baiting him with the bombs was sort of satisfying, but there was not much too satisfying in this boss to really make me happy compared to a few other ones. And this is another fault of mine. This is the only boss I fought after defeating Ganon. Calamity Ganon and Dark Beast Ganon, so that also kind of downgraded it for me, maybe. Maybe if I fought him before, he may be a bit higher, but I don't know. Like, I wasn't a big fan of Maduga. The one thing I absolutely love about Maduga is the theme song. Like, I freaking love this theme so much. It's one of the best themes in this game, and yeah. So, like I said, the Maduga, not a bad boss, just easily my least favorite boss, that's all. Let me just start with saying, now the rest of these bosses from number 12 all the way to number 1 are great bosses in their own right, all better than the Maduga. Starting off with the Guardian Stalker at number 12. So, when I first saw this thing, I was freaking terrified in this game. This is so terrifying. These dudes are terrifying. And even today, they're still kind of like, please leave. But at this point, they are really just a please leave, and that's all. You don't get scared. You don't run away. You know how to defeat them, but you're still like, I don't want to deal with you. You're annoying. Please leave. That's just how I feel. Like, I mean, many people farm them. I don't. Not a big fan of them. So they just get really boring after some time, in my opinion. And they're not really a boss. I don't know why people consider this a boss. But hey, I said this is the ultimate Breath of the Wild bosses ranking. And yeah, they're definitely number 12. Not to say I don't like them. Just find them really boring after some time. That's about it. So yeah, number 12, Guardian Stalker. So this is the boss you guys probably wanted to see at number 13 at the worst spot. I'm going to explain why this is actually number 11 for me, and I could put it higher if I wanted to. I enjoyed this boss because I did not think of it as a boss. I did not think of Dark Beast Ganon as a boss. I was thinking of it like, alright, this is just a finale for the game, and they did that great. It's kind of supposed to be like a final showdown, but it's not really supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be, alright, this is your final showdown with Ganon. The thing that disappointed me was that it doesn't save, it just goes back to your previous save, but that's out of point. Anyway, yeah, I just absolutely liked this as a finale. We could have got something maybe a bit better, but it was still really cool in my opinion. It felt really grand. Wasn't hard at all. I do wish it was slightly harder. That's why I could put it higher if I wanted to. But yeah, I still have my disappointments like other people do. But it's not that bad. I did enjoy it still. I wasn't that disappointed. I was just wishing for a bit more. But I still enjoyed this a lot more than Guardian Stalkers and the Maduga. Definitely not a enemy that I'm gonna keep fighting constantly though, and enjoying it as much as the other versions, some of the versions of Ganon. So Dark Beast Ganon is number 11. Feels like a playable cutscene. That's what I think of it of. That's what the game developers want you to think of it of. And yeah, Dark Beast Ganon is not as bad as people say so, but I still know why people hate it. And I'm just gonna say number 11, Dark Beast Ganon. So I'm just gonna tell you, I am not a big fan of the Henochs. So you guys might be so questioned, why is this at number 10 if you're not a big fan of it? Simple. One of the first overworld bosses I've found, and like I said with the Guardian Stalker, I was pretty terrified. But this is different than the Guardian Stalker. You see, those Stalkers get old, but these you don't find too often. And while they are easy, I really do like them. I liked them. I know I just said I'm not a big fan of them. I don't know what I'm saying, but even though today I do get kind of bored fighting them, when I first played through, I absolutely loved them. And that is why they are still number 10, because I like how you're seeing now in this footage. They actually counter your attacks, which are really cool. They don't just, just walk around being idiots like a few other bosses do. But yeah, I don't have much to say about the Henochs. The music is a bit It fits the boss, but I prefer a Stone Talus when it comes to overworld bosses and Maduga. But the main reason Henochs is this high is just because of the first time I experienced it. So yeah, number 10 is the Henochs, mainly because I just like its techniques and I experienced it for the first time and it was great. That's all. So many people like to hate on this Master Koga because he was too easy. I completely agree with that. I hate that it was too easy. And people might be so confused, why is this high? I really do like Master Koga's strategies where like the ball goes over him and you have to like shoot him and then you have to use the magnesis to get the ball on him. It was way too easy and way too short though. That is my only problem. I would put this higher if it was a bit longer. I would put this above my number 8, but this was just so easy and so short that I really did not like that it was that short. I enjoyed what I played in the boss battle, just wish it was longer. So this would easily be number 8, and my number 8 would be number 9, only if this was longer. But yeah, too bad it wasn't long enough. It was too easy, so that's why it's only number 9. I'm about to be the most unoriginal person. I don't care. Waterblight Ganon is the worst Blight in this game, and I am never gonna regret saying that ever, because on both of my playthroughs, I haven't had fun with this boss. Maybe on my first playthrough I had a bit of fun, but on my second playthrough I was like, please get this over with. The easiest boss, the most disappointing boss, well maybe not most disappointing, but you know what I mean, just didn't have, look, you guys might be so confused on why I'm saying that Master Koga, okay, maybe the Henochs was fun, but I'm not saying this was fun. And the Henochs was fun as an overworld boss. This was just, like it's a good boss, but it's just not one of my favorites. I like the first half more than the second half for sure. And that should not be the case. I usually should prefer the second half. And, I don't know, I just wasn't a big fan of Waterblight Ganon. Many people weren't. That's pretty unoriginal, I'm gonna be honest, but still, not a big fan of Waterblight. Number 8 is still being pretty nice to him, pretty generous to Waterblight, but I wasn't a big fan of Varuta. That's also an opinion that is sort of controversial. I don't like Varuta much, definitely my least favorite dungeon. Sorry Varuta fans, but yeah, Waterblight Ganon takes number 8. Not my favorite, but it's better than some of the other ones you've mentioned. That's all I'm gonna say. We just spoke about water, so what do we talk about next? Well, fire! Yay! No, but if I'm gonna be honest with you, here's what I feel about Fireblood Ganon, alright? I really like his techniques, but found him to be maybe kinda too easy? I don't know. So, here's the thing. I do really like the concept of this boss. I know it didn't disappoint me. When I say I like the concept, I did enjoy it. On my first playthrough, I did die a few times, only because I did not know what you had to do in the second phase, but you actually have to throw the bomb in the, when he's sucking everything in, and you have to throw the bomb in it and then detonate it. That's when, and I was like, oh, that's really, really creative. On my second playthrough, though, I probably, because I got the Master Sword already, it was too easy. I feel like it's because of the Master Sword, but still, it was just really easy to dodge his attacks. It shouldn't have been that easy. I remember back then I found this harder than Blight Ganon, which I'll get to later. Like, I still think Waterblight's the easiest, but Fireblood Ganon was good. Just, I mean, a bit too easy for me, like, especially on the second playthrough. Even on my first playthrough, it was pretty easy, just I did not know what to do, that is all. But, yeah, once you know his techniques and all that, it's really, really easy in my opinion. But, yeah, number 7 is pretty good, because I had fun with him, but just, I think the other 6 are better, that's all. Who does not remember their first stone talus? They just look at a random rock and they see this dude come out. I definitely think this is the most creative overworld boss that says on top stone that has their name up top. There's one other overworld boss that I think is a bit more creative than him, but I love the stone talus's concept mainly. I like the music, I just like everything about it. Bit too easy after some time, like you're about to see in this footage, he dies in like 2 seconds. But really, really great boss. I don't have much to say about it. Amazing boss. I do like the concept of having to hit him on top, and just really fun. And the first time, who doesn't remember the first stone talus they saw? So number 6 is the stone talus. Now we come on to the top 5, and the number 5 is probably the second hardest boss in this game. But I'm judging this by how much fun I had with the bosses, like I said earlier. And even though I called out some for being easy, this was a really, really good challenge. On my second playthrough, I found this boss kind of easy because I already knew how to fight him. Not too easy. I found him kind of easy on my second playthrough because I knew how to fight him, but that does not stop this boss. That does not stop Thunderblade Ganon from being the most frustrating boss in this game. This is the only boss, well, other than Calamity Ganon, only because that's the final. This is the only boss in this game where after you defeat it, you feel accomplished. You feel like you actually defeated it. You feel accomplished. Like with Blight, Fireblight, and Waterblight, with all of those, even though I felt a sense of accomplishment, none reached as great as this. This one I actually felt like I defeated it properly. This was the only one that I felt I had a bit of challenge on. With Blight, I was like, you know, these were challenging, but I don't really feel, I didn't feel, I don't know how to say it, but this one is the only one that just made me feel really, okay, I deserve this. I deserve all the goodies in the treasure chest, or whatever. And Thunderblade Ganon, really, really great fight in this game. One of the best fights. There are a few other fights I had a bit more fun with, but this is a really, really good fight. Really amazing. And yeah, I raged at this the most. Many people did. Many people considered this the best one. I wouldn't consider it the best, but it's definitely one of the hardest ones. And it's in my top 5. So yeah, number 5, Thunderblade Ganon. Great boss, hard boss, and number 5. Don't worry, I'm asking myself the exact same question. How is a freaking boss that doesn't, overworld boss, a boss that doesn't have their name show up above in their thing, the 4th best? I don't know, I have so much fun fighting Lionels. I swear these are the most fun boss in the game. Well, no, they're not. There are 3 other boss more fun than these, but I do not know what I like so much about Lionels, but I just like them a lot. I love doing the Flurry Rush. That's one of my favorite moves in this game, and I use it a ton, and they're just so fun to parry against and figure out their strategies. Well, I will admit they do get easy after some time. I still have a lot of fun with them. They are so fun to fight against, use your Flurry Rush, do all that stuff. But they do get easy after some time, which is kind of disappointing. And this goes against everything I said about the Maduga. They do kind of drag after some time as well, like, but I still have a bunch of fun just doing a bunch of Flurry Rushes for no reason and hitting them just to get their spears or whatever. Especially the first few times, they are quite hard. And even after some time, they still are hard, but you know their techniques really well, so they're not that hard. But yeah, Lionels are great. Seeing this at number 4 above Thunderblade Ganon. Remember, this is not in terms of how hard they were. This is in terms of how much fun I had with it. And yeah, Lionels are really, really fun to fight. Many people would agree here. Many people might disagree with the placement, but many people agree that they were fun to fight. And yeah, Lionels are number 4. And we're about to get to number 3. Lionels were so close to there, but Lionels just aren't a proper boss. They're still like a really mini boss because they don't even have their name above, but whatever. Lionels are still a boss in my opinion. And number 4. Oh, did I ever mention that video games are supposed to be fun? Did I ever mention that Breath of the Wild gliding is what's considered fun? So did I ever mention that Blight Cannon is literally perfection for me? This boss is perfection for me because game's supposed to be fun. This boss is fun. Breath of the Wild is fun because you glide. I mean, that's kind of a joke, but you know what I mean. Gliding is awesome in this game, and I love that you have to use gliding quite a bit, like on some of the air vents to get up and all that stuff. And this was the first boss I fought. Many people did the Waterblight Ganon. This was the first Divine Beast boss I fought, and oh my god, I'm so happy I did. This was a great boss to being the first Divine Beast boss, and I mean you get Rivali's skill too, which is great. But I do like this one. On my second playthrough was pretty easy. On my first playthrough I did die quite a bit because I was really low on my hearts and stuff. And this is a really, really fun boss. I like how it just shoots its guns at you. Its laser or whatever you want to call it at you. I find that really creative and really fun. I like the tornadoes, and I just really, really like this boss for some reason. I don't know why. There's just something about this boss that I like. It's probably the gliding you have to do, and it's just pure fun. This is definitely the most fun, boss, I'd actually say. Maybe it's equal to number 2, and number 1's only number 1 for the sake of enjoyment more than fun. I don't know how that makes sense, but you know, whatever, it's fine. I really liked Blight Ganon, really, really fun. Like, maybe it's not as quick as Master Koga at all. Maybe a bit too shorter. Like, I would have loved to see a bit more variety in its attacks. But whatever, it was a great boss. Number 3. Now time to get on to my last 2. Say what you want to say about this boss. Call it disappointment. Call it easy. I would agree. It's kind of easy. I did die like once or twice, but that's about it. So fun though. I love how it takes every single Divine Beast, takes the best out of them, and just makes one big final boss. I will admit, when I actually first played it, I was disappointed. I'm like, this is too easy. Too easy. And I didn't even kill it with the Master Sword. And like, I did have the Master Sword stuff, but I didn't even kill it with the Master Sword. And I'm like, this is too easy. Why? But the more I fought it, the more I appreciated this boss. And I absolutely love this boss now. Just using the Flurry Rush and everything, just fighting it is fun. It's just such a fun boss, especially with all the 4 Divine Beasts. You mix everything together, this leads to a great boss battle. Even though I was disappointed at first, after fighting it quite a few times, I really love this boss. Definitely would be my number 1, but there's one other boss which is better in this game. But I want to talk a bit more about this. I just like how it uses every single Divine Beast power, and its design. Its design is ugly and cool at the same time. Usually with Ganon, it comes as like a human. Not really human, but you know what I mean, like a very normal looking monster character at first. Like, it's pretty typical, but this one is just a creepy, hideous looking Ganon. Yet it still looks really ugly. I don't know what I'm saying, but whatever. But in the end, this Ganon fight is really fun. The only thing that disappointed me with both the Ganon fights is not really the fights of themselves, other than them being easy, but it's the fact that once you finish defeating the Ganons, it doesn't actually save that you defeated them, which kind of sucks. But anyway, yeah, number 2 was Calamity Ganon, and time to go to number 1. And number 1 is Mask Koshia, Monk Mask Koshia. Who else would it be?